Season 10 in New World is complicated, and if you're not careful, you could be wasting thousands of gold and hours of your time. In this video, I'm breaking down hidden tips that most players don't even know exist. Stick with me, because each tip is more valuable than the last, and the final one, well, that one's a game changer. Let's kick things off with the first tip, the salvaging trick. This one can alone save you hours on the grind, and sets up your progression faster throughout the season. Especially with the amount of grinds that we're on right now, there's a lot of loot coming into our inventory. If you see this button right here, you'll hit click salvage all. Then you can click which ones you want to salvage. Here we hit confirm. Boom. The green one is gone, dusted, sent to the Shadow Realm. So if you ever see a bunch of blues, purples, just click this button and hit salvage. Bam, it's going to be gone and dusted, and it's no longer in our inventory anymore. Get that useless junk out of here, we don't want it. But be careful not to click legendary, or your legendaries will be gone, and you might lose out on some juicy loot. Speaking of juicy loot, if you want to check for certain perks on your gear, well, that's actually really simple. All you have to do is type this bracket right here, bam, and then look for a perk that we want. Let's say we want Savior. All you have to do then is close the bracket, and now all the perks with Savior 2 will come up. If you're looking for something specific, like a gem slot, then all the gear that comes up with gem slot will come up. How can we use this? Well, if you're only hunting for certain things like gem slot or perk, you can then choose to lock all this, hit the X button, and then click salvage all. Now everything that's not locked will be gone and dusted except for artifacts and the items you've locked. This is a very fast way if you want to min-max your time in your inventory, because right now, let's be honest, we're getting a lot of loot. Like, our inventories are filled to the brim. Sometimes it's so bad we have to salvage mid-runs on our chest or dungeon run, and our inventory is getting more cluttered than my brain. So this is a fast solution that should help you save some time out on the field. Next up, you can see already learned on any of these little icons. This will tell you immediately if you've learned it, so if you want to, you can drop it as your inventory will be filling up. And if you look here at the little backpack, you have only 500 unique items. Since these don't really do anything in the game, you can just quickly drop them. But if you do want to get max value out of them, come over to the workshop station, as here you can actually use them for some free XP. All those pesky little notepads that we've been getting for our music sheets, well, come into workshop, click have materials right here, and then down here you'll be able to click each of these and get a juicy amount of XP, allowing you to level the skill without having to do anything, making this extremely easy to get rid of all these useless, well, music sheets that we've been collecting along our journey. Now, while you've been playing New World Aeternum and Nighthaven, you'll notice there's a lot of RNG in the game. So how exactly do we understand what's good versus what's bad? Well, I'll give you a few simple rules to make it easier on you. 1, gem slots are very important for about 95% of gear. For weapons, must-haves. Armor, must-haves as well. For jewelry, there is a rule here that you can break not having a gem slot. Why? This is due to the fact that jewelry has some insanely broken perks. Just look at my gear. These things are busted beyond belief. Almost best in slot. Only problem is, I would like more perks on them. Another good rule of thought, I think I'm going to be asking, well, what's a really good perk to look for? Well, just look at my earring, copy and paste this for every PvP build. This is a must. For PvE build, just look at this earring right here. This will be your PvE DPS earring. Despise plus Beloved gives us 15% extra damage to every boss in the entire game. Well, now our DPS numbers are skyrocketing. For armor, for DPS, I recommend always looking for Sacrifice Empowerment. This thing is beyond broken as it increases our base damage by 1.5, allowing us to nuke bosses left and right. After that, look for a gem slot, 2 offensives, and 1 defensive charm. This is because every build in the entire game wants to run Enchanted Ward even if you're damaged, as this prevents you from getting one-shot during a lot of mechanics. This is for every build, healer, tank, and DPS. The other slots for DPS, by the way, you want to have offensive, so 2 offensives. For healers, you want 2 defensive, and tanks 2 defensive as well, allowing you to become more tanky in PvE, not getting sent to the Shadow Realm just by 1 misstep. Now let me break down a few artifacts that will carry your journey throughout New World Aeternum in Season 10. These are a must-have for most builds. 1. Infernal and Aconite. These two are the DPS kings right now and are looked to be ran in every raid, every dungeon, as they just give you 15% more damage. Where do I grab both these weapons that are complete game changers? Well, Infernal drops at the northern side of the map in Great Cleave. It drops from this dungeon right here, Imperium Forge. This has to be mutated. You'll see a glowing circle around it. Right now it's not, but in a few weeks it could be ready to go. Aconite drops towards the southern part of the map in Reekwater. Here in Reekwater, you'll see a worm at the top of the mountain. You'll have to kill that thing 5 times. Bam, Aconite is now in our inventory and we're good to go. This will be used once again for most DPS builds, so I highly recommend picking this up. Armor, it's a bit different. Armor, you want to get Nimble Cloak. 8% CDR reduction, nothing can beat that, especially for healers and DPS. This will be a must-have as you want to hit top damage numbers, and you will be locked out of raids if you're not taking this. Next up, Old Crown. Kings, it's time to put on our crowns, and queens, as we are the true king of the castle. This will allow us to get more attributes across the board, but more importantly, give us more gem slots, which means more survivability and more damage to the enemy, allowing us to pump harder than our useless floor tanks. Where do you get both these artifacts? Well, from the PvP track. Now you might be asking, I hate PvP, do I really have to do this? Yes, grow some balls, lock it in, and do some OPRs. It's time to cook, boys. They come with the Gordon Ramsay and New World, so if you have any problems with builds, come ask your boy. I'll make sure to help. But if you guys are looking for the least sweatiest option, I recommend Outpost Rush. This is due to the fact that, well, no one really cares as much about winning here. There's hunting for kills, so you can kind of autopilot and barely play the game and still get a good amount of XP and reward. If you're more sweaty and greasy, I recommend doing Catch of the Fight and Arena. It's allow you to upgrade your track much faster. Only problem is you'll be against a lot better players. Now, while you'll be gathering a bunch of gear, there'll be one perk you want to look out for over everything else for your amulet. Protection perks. These things are like infinity stones, and just like Thanos, you want to be collecting them all. Why, you may be asking? Well, these are extremely important for dungeons and, well, a lot of PvP and PvE content alike. Let me break down why. In certain dungeons, like mutations, if we click activities, head over to the top right here, we can clearly see the damage type the mutation will be dealing to us. This right now is void, meaning all enemies in this dungeon, no matter what, will be dealing 50% void damage. So for a mutation like this, it is mandatory to take in an amulet that has that type of protection. It also will have to have a gem slot, so you can slot a void protection gem there for an additional 5% protection. So in total, your amulet will give you 15% protection, making you way tankier in these types of dungeons. And this goes for raids and catacombs and stuff like this, as each enemy will have their own damage type, and building towards it will give you a 10 times easier journey. Let's just use the market as an example. Let's say I made a mistake and accidentally broke one of those amulets. How much would it cost to replace that? Well, if we click here, look for a strike protection amulet. Right now, they're going for 7,500 gold. That's a pretty penny, and I don't want you to waste your hard-earned cash. Therefore, if you see an amulet with a gem slot and a protection perk, I highly recommend just locking it, saving it, storing it, whatever it takes. Just don't destroy it until you can get a better one, or until you understand the game systems better. I don't want you to waste money and regret it, so I recommend locking all these protection amulets for the future. Something else you want to be looking to lock down is going to be your earring perks. Despised and Beloved are shaping up to be hands down the best in slot for every PvE DPS, and these are going to be a necessity across all these builds. So if you ever get one of these, lock it in no matter what, as that could be your best in slot PvE DPS loadout. What about consumables? There's so many in New World, how do I know which one to pick? Well, it depends on what you're doing, and I'll give you a quick simple guide so you understand. 1. For PvE, all you really need are health pots. These are like your oh crap button. I made a mistake and I regret it. Don't worry, we've all been there, bro. These health buttons, well, they'll rejuvenate you. There's also a few special pots that can help you along your journey. 1. If you're struggling with a certain mechanic, infused shield potions got your back. These give you 50% armor for the next 3 hits. So if you just can't figure out why you're dying to a certain mechanic, pop this and It's kind of like playing the dungeon on easy mode. Next up, grip pots. These are becoming very strong, especially in PvP right now, as these things prevent you from getting staggered. This will work both for bosses in PvE, giving you a massive amount of extra survivability if you're a tank in both game modes, as you cannot really be pushed around. Next up, make sure you bring your honing stones in. These gives you 5% damage and are a must have. Don't skip on these. It's like skipping leg day at the gym, you just regret it later. Always bring your coatings for a flat 15% damage increase against mobs. These don't work against real people. I wish they did, but they don't. Next up, ward potion. These are flat damage reduction against certain enemy types. Make sure you have the correct one for the job, and you'll thank me later. These are massive for survivability. Now we also have full sight potions. These ones are incredibly broken, but for a different reason, as they give us lots of loot in New World Season 10. For the chest run called Night right here, you want to drink one, you'll get 2 extra chests. And for the solo run, Night Break Roost, you'll need this to do the entire run. So make sure you either craft these or buy these off the market. Either way, you'll need them no matter what. If you want some extra survivability in Arena and Capture the Flag, I highly recommend slotting fire potions. Since in those game modes these are infinite, means we can spam these all day and have no repercussions. I wish real life was like that. These will make you a lot tankier in every game mode. You can use different versions of these, such as Void, Ice, or Lightning if you're struggling against a certain build. Highly recommend doing this. Makes you a lot more tanky. You'll also have Oak Flesh Bombs and Gemstone Dust. These will make you tankier against with the respective element, turning you into the Hulk, allowing you to shake off damage like it was nothing. If you're a mage or a Crescent Wave abuser, energizing hearty meals are a must. And I recommend always bringing in your Desert Sunrise. These give you a massive amount of survivability, but for a different reason. These reduce the dots on you by 25% for both PvP and PvE, and that's a lifesaver, literally. You'll be thanking me later. Think of this as adding an extra 25% health to your character. Very broken. Next up, make sure to bring in your stat food, the 44 versions or the 48 versions, depending on what you're doing. Remember though, in CTF and Arena, you do have infinite consumables, meaning you can eat these things all day and it'll cost you nothing. If you guys are looking to save some coin, well, head over to the Salvatore the Madman. This guy will have a free chromatic seal once you've slain the big beast. Only costs 8 tokens and, well, that's 2,000 gold. Bam, boom. We're rich, baby. He'll also sell you some motes, some skins that are limited to this event only, meaning if you don't want to wait another year, I highly recommend farming this and getting a cool looking skin. On top of that, he'll sell you these armor patterns. You can take these patterns over to the outfitting station. While you're at the outfitting station, you can look to craft yourself some easy and efficient luck gear. By the way, boys, luck is so back in New World Aeternum. It's so back your boy has made a full luck set. I've never done this before, but it's mandatory this season. I'll break down why later on, as that's a whole different tip. But while we're here, let me show you a few tricks on how to upgrade your crafting skills to the next level without breaking the bank. You'll see at the bottom right of your screen here a bonus XP. I'll have a question mark. This is your first time craft. Translation, these give you a massive amount of XP for a fraction of the cost. You always want to do your first time craft for literally everything in the entire game if you can, as this will allow you to skyrocket your armoring, your wood cutting, any profession way faster and way more cost efficient than you otherwise would be able to. If you guys want a cool tip for your activity card, I've got you covered. You only need to fill in 5 of these blue things and then you can fill in the whole card. Pro tip, do not fill in these top 2 box or these bottom 2. This will make you have to have 6 blues. You want to get these 2 diagonal lines and then fill in these columns respectively. This will speed up your overall activity card progression and allow you to get to the top of the season pass, just like your boy did in a relatively short period. Now let me give you the best way to make gold right now in New World Aeternum. It's going to be these charms. These charms get drop rates increased from having more luck. That's one of the bonuses. There's more along the way. I'll break down them here in a sec. But charms right now are selling for an absolute mountain of gold. If you don't know which ones are expensive, don't worry, that's okay. Click sell, head over here to the 3 gold bars, and then click own by numbers. Here you'll be able to clearly see your charms and just click sell you'll be able to see the price. Don't sell to the sell order. Hit place sell order here and you'll see it's selling for about double the price. Sell it there and you should make a quite hefty profit. While we're at the trading post, I'll give you a few tips here to make some gold. If you guys want to have some passive income while you're playing New World, think of this like a stock. Place a buy order for a certain material or resource. Right now, iron is extremely cheap and underpriced. So I can easily put up a buy order for 500, and then tomorrow when I log on, or maybe throughout the day, I'll slowly fill that up. Then I can resell this onto the market and make a huge profit. This is how I make all my gold in New World right now, as it's super easy because there's a lot of new players and they don't know how to touch the market properly. And it's very easy for me to buy and resell things and make a couple 100,000 gold in, well, a week. If you guys love emoting in New World, just like I do, there's a hotkey for it. You can hit P here and then hit cheer. But did you guys know if I hit enter, then type /dance in the chat, my character will automatically dance. And then you can hit enter, hit the up arrow, and then you can spam dance. Just like that, boys, we now have dance on repeat, and it's very easy to hit. You can do this for every emote in the game. So if you love spamming emotes, but you hate hitting on the hotkeys to get there, just type it in the chat, then hit enter again and hit the up arrow. This will allow you to proc that emote relatively quickly. If you guys want to see how long you've been playing New World for, type /played. Here, you'll see exactly how long you've logged in on this character. For me, I've logged in 34 days, 9 hours, and 1 minute. I have no life and I need help. But maybe, if you ever want to see that, just type /played and you'll have easy access to how long you've been playing, well, on that certain character. In Season 10, they have nerfed crafting, so I'm getting a lot of questions. If it's crafting dead, is it worth coming back to? Well, I would say it's still good to have it leveled just in case they ever try and change crafting up. There'll also be a bunch of materials that you can right now craft and sell. One of the best ways of doing this is crafting obsidian voidstone. I highly recommend grinding your stone cutting table up right now. You could make a fortune by selling these obsidian voidstone into the market. I'm forced to buy them because I'm too lazy to level them up. And if you're even high enough level, you can go to the runic voidstone and make even more money. But pro tip, there is armor in the game that gives you more per craft. You want to buy those off the market or go farm them? That's up to you, but I highly recommend investing into a set like that if you're looking to min-max your refining. While we're at the stone cutting table, you can also look to upgrade your heart rune here. They'll come up right here and you'll see all the ingredients that you need. Pro tip, if it's on your character or in your gear set right now or locked, it will not come up at the stone cutting table. You have to make sure it's sitting in this rune tab here, not locked, so you can see it in the stone cutting table. Because a lot of people ask me, I can't find it, where is it? Is it lost? No, it's probably locked during a gear set, and that's the reason why. Right now, by the way, World Aeternum is having a bug where heart runes are not dropping. So if you're playing the game right now and you're wondering why you can't get a heart rune, it's because it's bugged. A heart rune should drop each boss kill or every second boss kill at the max, and if it's not happening for you, that means you're still playing in the bugged version, and hopefully this gets fixed soon. I get a lot of people coming into my chat asking me this question. Alright, it's time to learn how to farm our weapon mastery and how to get good gear in New World Season 10. I'll break them down from best to worst so you know exactly where to put your attention so you don't waste your time. First, let me give you a quick tier list of gear loot locations so you know exactly which one to prioritize with your limited time. Let's talk about chest runs, as these right now are popping harder than candy. You'll see all these X's in the chat, X Gorilla, XCK, but which ones are good and which ones are bad? Let me break them down. XCK, this chest run right here, very good, highly recommend doing it. XIMP is a more middle of the pack. X Knight is this one right here, very strong, always do that one. X Merc and X Mines are also another necessity, as these drop very good gear and perks. And then finally, you always want to make sure you're doing X Siren and X Pools. These will also drop you abundant of good gear. You will also see these X Infix is in the chat as well. What are those and why are those so important? Well, these are infixed pieces of gear. I have a few of these on my character right now, so I'll break down exactly why they're so valuable. These infixed perks are complete game changers, and depending on your build, you need this for best in slot. Whether that be for PvP, PvE, these are a necessity. Therefore, you should always be doing your infix runs. The ones I broke down right now in terms of chest runs do have a chance to drop in fixes, and that's why they're such high priority. But if you are confused and you ever see someone type X in fix, I recommend just doing that chest run. Just follow the Zerg mindlessly, you don't have to think. Just play, follow the leader. You could be the caboose, and a great caboose at that. But what about these AFK farming spots for when I want to make dinner, but I still want to be getting loot? Well, there's a few of them. Let me break them down in priority from best to worst. The gorilla, aka King Kong, will be right here. This is hands down the best farming spot in the entire game right now if you want to AFK. Next up will be Mercy Readout. I'll rate this at number 2 as this one has a chance to drop jewelry and 3 per gear just like the gorilla. And then the worst one, but the new friendly one, is going to be Sun Tower. So X Sun in the chat and you'll be able to join this one. This one is good for armor but nothing else, not good for jewelry or weapons. And since jewelry and weapons are more important for your build, that's why I recommend Gorilla and Mercy over Sun. Now let me break down a few gold tips that can help you along your journey. As I know, starting off, you're a broker than a man who's living on the street, so let me give you a few tips that should help you get by. 1. Grab your glittering golden key every week. This will give you access to 500 doubloons and is basically free. They'll be spawning at these pillars across the map around the PvP zone. Just go there and open up the box and you should be. Next up, scroll down to the bottom here, you'll see a bunch of things under consumables and food exchange. Purchase whatever you want here. You can't sell or trade anything in consumables, but you can sell the food exchange. So if you're looking for some extra money, grab these boxes, open them up and sell them on the market. It's a free couple hundred gold each week, so I highly recommend doing it. Also, always buy your honing stones and your oak flesh and your gemstone dust so you don't have to buy this off the market. You can't sell these, but once again, you're saving a couple thousand gold every week by doing this, so there's no real downside. While you're at it, you should also be smashing activities, heading over to mutated expeditions, and hitting your daily random queues. These will net you a good chunk of 1500 gold if you're a tank or a healer, while getting your weekly expedition done. If you're a new player and you don't have all the artifacts in the game, this is the best way to farm it. Not only will you be getting your 2 daily bonus, 3000 gold a day, but you'll also be getting good loot from doing the dungeon and getting the artifact locked into these dungeons. So if you're new, I highly recommend doing this every single day, never skipping this. Now let's break down the tool and bag area. This area is a little unique, so I'm about to go down. I'm going to go over exactly what you should have here. Let's start off with your bags. Always want extra pockets, lasting consumables, and luck. Luck is very good this season, so luck I would say is over lasting consumption. You can buy these off the market or craft them yourselves. The choice is yours. I recommend buying them as there's a lot right now on the market and they should be very cheap. Still a bit more expensive than crafting them, but if you don't have armoring 150, well then it's definitely cheaper to snag them off the market. Next up, if you like gathering and like being a life skill enjoyer, having good tools is very important. What I recommend getting is exactly what I have for this pickaxe. Luck, efficiency, yield, emote, and alacrity. This allows you to speed across the map like Speedy Gonzalez while getting a good amount of resources along the way. You can buy these off the market once again or craft them yourself. The choice is yours. You can also play music buffs in New World Aeternum by hitting F5 on keyboard and mouse, not sure what it is on controller, clicking it, and then at the bottom here you'll see reward. Here you can pick your dexterity, giving you increased gathering speed, or at the bottom territory triumph, increasing your territory standing bonus. This is very good to play before you do anything in the game. If you're lazy like myself, I always forget, but I highly recommend doing this if you want to go out for a gathering run or just for some territory standing grinding. Speaking of territory standing, what exactly should we put into these points, as you're probably very confused and overwhelmed what is good and what is bad? I'll give you a quick breakdown. 1. Territory standing is generally good to level, especially if you're new. I get this to about 20%, and then after that I like to avoid it and go into more gathering. After gathering, you'll come up with trading fees and storage. Storage is always a must, as this just makes your life easier down the road. More storage, more loot, more gold. Simple. But I would also recommend having a trading hub. In Windsward is a great example of this. I do all my trading in Windsward, so I have put all the points into trading there so it reduces the fee. This will save you literally gold in the long run if you do this. Do not skip on that. You will be saving money, 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 baby. I also recommend having a good crafting town as well, because refining costs gold, so you can reduce the refining costs as well. Next up, let's break down housing. Housing in World Aeternum is crucial for many different reasons. 1, crafting. 2, luck. And 3, killing mobs, as these will give you additional damage bonus to certain mob enemy types, allow you to craft higher tier gear, and get you more luck across the board. These are used through trophy buffs. You're only allowed to have 5 at once, but I recommend using these as soon as you can have access to them. You can have 3 houses max, and you can choose to decorate it to whatever you want. The major differences between a $5,000 house and a $20,000 house is storage. The amount of storage chests you can put in these houses goes up with the increase of cost. So do what you will with that information. But trophies, they remain the same. Bonus tip, if your faction controls the territory, or you're in a company that controls said territory, the house cost is reduced by a good portion. So if you're looking to save as much gold as possible, purchase a house that your company owns or your faction owns the territory, as that will save you a nice chunk of change. Another thing is, while you're in the territory, you'll see these little supply carts. You can always gather these whenever you want. The only caveat is your faction has to own the town in order to gather this, not the company, just the faction. Now, if you guys are looking to farm quick and efficient faction tokens and you really hate PvP, I mean hate it, despise it, let me show you the Great Cleave method. The Great Cleave method is as old as I am. Years. Here, come over to your faction vendor, then click all the PvP ones. You'll have to be flagged. I know you hate PvP, but don't worry. Nobody in this section will kill you. This is generally a peace treaty zone, as the people who come here are simply here to farm. This is the most efficient way to level up your trap, and the most boring. So only do this if you despise PvP and you want to do some faction quest running. I don't recommend it, it's very boring. But what I do recommend doing is your daily faction missions in Reekwater. In your World Aeternum, each day you'll have 3 bonus activities for your faction. You'll be able to see these in the top of your screen. I recommend doing them in Reekwater, as I just found that to be the most efficient and easiest way to do it. Only do the quests that spawn over here, by the way, not the ones that spawn down here by the fort. If you want the simpler and more relaxing version, head over to Elysian Wild and talk to the man here. You'll have 3 quests scattered in the zone. You'll do a full circle. It'll take you about 15 to 20 minutes, but by the end of it, you'll have 60,000 faction tokens, which is a good way to make gold. As of right now, you can craft some very good things from chromatic seals, those charms, and sell them on the market for a nice chunk of change. Speaking of faction gear, while you're in here, you'll see some faction armor and weapon. These are actually relatively good for starter gear, especially if you hate RNG or grinding. The chest piece is actually very strong. This comes with empowerment, synergy, and fortification. Very broken for PvP and solid for PvE. Highly recommend picking this bad boy up if you want a really good starter gear. I'm still running this even today because I've found nothing better. That's how good it is. So if you want to, what about luck though? I mentioned luck a few times. What does luck actually do? Well, luck increases these charm drops here that make you good gold. They also increase legendary drops, and they also increase the chances to get in fixed perks. And fixed perks, like I mentioned, are broken and a must-have. Therefore, you want to be stacking lucks as much as humanly possible. In order to do this, you'll need to craft the gear, jewelry alike as well. Weapons do not matter. Also put the pearl in there for an extra 0.5% of luck. Massive, as each bit counts. You can also craft trophies and eat a rabbit's foot. Yes, we hate fairies here so much we are now eating their feet. And this foot is absolutely delicious, as it gives me 6% luck. We have a few tips and tricks for the gypsum kiln. 1, you can craft gypsum orbs here. These will allow you to craft a cash and gold matter that will net you 1,500 gold weekly, so a nice bit of extra chump change for the boys. You'll also be able to upgrade your artifacts here. Pro tip, this cannot be equipped or in your gear slots. It has to be unequipped so you can upgrade it in here. You'll see exactly what you need. And no, you cannot change the perks on the artifacts now. They are locked in. So Creed boots will be the same across everyone else's Creed boots. All of our Creed boots are the exact same except for the charm slots. You cannot change perks anymore. A lot of people also ask me about Umbral shards. Where's the best place to get Umbral crystals in New World Aeternum? Well, the best place to get them is chest runs, and as long as you're doing your daily chest runs, you should be pumped to the max in terms of Umbral crystals. The best way to get them besides is PvP, capture the flag. You have to be winning though, otherwise it's not worth it. Another quick tip I can give you is hit augments at the bottom of the screen and then head over here. Here you'll get gathering XP, proficiency booster, and season XP boosters. These will allow you to skyrocket certain skills, weapon XP, whatever you want. You get these from the season pass or the paid version. These will drastically increase your momentum as they do double your XP across the board. So if you're ever going for a hard grinding session, I highly recommend popping one of these to get the bonus XP to make your life just a little bit easier. In New World Aeternum, there's something called loot bias. Let me break it down. Whenever you open a box or loot a chest or an enemy dies, they will drop loot. This loot will be tailored to your gear. Translation, if I'm wearing heavy pants, every time I kill a mob or open up a box, I will get heavy pants. This is true for weapons and armor alike. The only exception to this rule is if the item is named, so the glowing items, or they have a special perk on them called infix perks. These do not follow the rule and they're kind of the outlier. Well, how about sets? As sets right now in Season 10 are the hot topic. Well, I'll break down where you get them. Catacomb drops 2 sets, Overcharged and Elemental Charge. Overcharged, very broken for PvE DPS builds as these things will be doing top tier damage. Elemental Charge set, very good for mages. If you guys want to see more sets, hit activities, like raids, then hit Isles of Night. Here you'll be able to hover over the gear that drop in the raid. You'll be able to look at each set that you can get in here, and some of these are completely broken. I'll let you read them and you can discover what's truly OP. Next up, sets also can drop from the PvP track. Here you'll find a lot of good gear, 4 perkers, gem slot gear, and set bonuses alike. There's only certain sets, by the way, that can drop on the PvP track, making it highly worth farming, so PvP players should be rejoicing. And with that, boys, that's going to wrap up our tips and trick videos for today. If I missed something, let me know down in the comments below what your favorite tip was, or if you got a better one. I would love to hear it. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Become a YouTube channel member and support your boy. Welcome to the Brotherhood. And with that, hope you guys all have a fantastic day.